Okay. This thing was flickering. She's solid right now. That's a neon light bulb running off the B plus here, the 150 volt spot. What I did, I bought this about a year ago. This thing, this potentiometer was missing. There was just a hole there. So I figured, well, that's an easy fix. So I thought, but anyways, here's what that is. So this turned out to be a triple pot, which I think these two are in cahoots, are ganged together. Then this one is for fine. So these two are for chorus, and that's fine for this book came with it. It's falling apart like crazy. This thing is just deteriorating like crazy. But anyways, that's it right there. So I bought another scope, the same thing, not too long ago, but it was full of oil. I took this thing off. This was all full of oil. This thing had oil underneath it. I couldn't believe the whole bottom was sacked with oil. It was like transmission oil. It was kind of reddish color, so I figured it was transmission oil, but it didn't smell like transmission oil. So back on this one here, all these resistors get hot. This one here gets noticeably hotter than this one. It's hard to tell because I have calluses on my fingers. And this one here is supposed to be 500. I got two 1000s. And like in Fender Silverface guitar amplifiers, they use like a 220K 1 watt resistor across each capacitor for equalization. And those are supposed to be within percent of each other. So I'm going to do the same here, but I don't know if I'm going to choose a 220K or a 100K, because some amplifier companies did use 100 or 150K. This thing gets hotter than heck. It's really hot. Ouch. So I'm thinking of mounting it to here with some heat sink from I got heat sink stuff from computer power supplies that make excellent heat sinking. I got capacitors dangling around here, kind of temporarily soldered in there. I noticed on my capacitor checker that these take a while for the eye to open, these black ones. This one I could only check up to between 400 to 500 volts. It's a 1600 volt. Eye opened instantly. These here check good, eye open instantly. These again, I had to sit there and fiddle because it was very hard to get it approximately 35 volts. Want to go above it or below it. This thing here, check good. These blue colored ones always check good. The eyes open up right away. Okay, note the name. These ones here, I don't know, they got to be formed or something. I don't know the brand. I don't see a brand on those. But anyways, here I am. Here's that potentiometer. This is what was in the other computer, and this is a 10K and a 10K, which is wrong. That is 100 ohms, which is correct, but it's a adjustment for, bias adjustment of something. I got these all turned for calibrating stuff, but for the calibration procedure. So here's what I got going on here. Well, I measured the voltages. Okay, they're volts there on these ones. Then I'm going to drop all around. Where the heck is it? Okay, here's the voltages. They're all in respect here. 8.47, 8.38 positive, 8.52 positive, 2 negatives. The 3 positives are in cahoots with that hot running transistor that I want to relocate. The W is supposed to be 180. We got 170. That's 148. Supposed to be 150. And that's where the lamp is there. Has, I think, a 100K resistor. That's a 100K resistor. 115 volts there where it's supposed to be 120. That was the times. I don't know. I wanted to see when this thing was copyrighted. If I could do that. Yeah, I don't know if it's even in here. I don't know when this thing was built. I want to figure that out, but I thought maybe there might be a copyright in here to give an approximation. Okay, forget that idea. Oh, right here. I was 11 years old. So figure early 70s. 71 to 75 to 80 or whatever. I don't know how long they put things out, but okay, anyways. I got a little dot before, but now since I changed things, I'm getting nothing. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hook up to here my scope to this test point. That test point is right here. So that's coming from right from the frequency selector. So I've already been through this, so I know what the end results are, except for I twisted all those knobs, so I don't know what's going on. I usually keep this out as sync and dim so it don't burn a line across. So it's up and running. I'm getting nothing. Let me put this on ground, put this up. Okay, I'm getting nothing. Okay, I'm hooked up here. Let me see. Let me try vertical gain. Well, it's horizontal, but okay. Let's try horizontal gain. See what happens. Nothing. Let me see. Oh, this is on. It's for the calibrations of the adjustments of these two transistors, which are horizontal, which are these. I'll adjust those after because I have to put my meter to here, then my meter back and forth, and adjust horizontal position until I can get that close to equaling, which is kind of iffy to do. Then when I get that, then I have to adjust this 100 volt adjust, I think, to get 100 volts here. Then 100 volts there. It tells in the book, I think, this Q207, I think. But okay, so I still have nothing. I can smell this stuff heating up. This one gets hotter than July. This one isn't so bad, isn't so bad. That thing hotter than July. So what's going on here? Okay, let me try this thing. The frequency adjust. Okay, there it was. Yeah, let's pull back there. Okay. Okay. Pull that one. Okay. I'm gonna Yeah, leave it there. And I can twist this knob, I think. Where is it? This one, and do that. Whatever I feel like doing. That is frequency. That's supposed to be center. 12 o'clock. Okay, this is when I go back to set that balance. Okay, so I got that at this test point, so we know the oscillator stuff, even though I don't know how it works, we know something's happening. Okay. Now I've been through these transistors, so I'm going to hook up to the base of this one. Okay. It says B. I got nothing. Okay. Nothing. I think I have to turn the gain up. Still have vertical at ground. I'm going to put this to X10. I had my best results there. I'll put my vertical gain up. I still ain't getting nothing, so what the heck. Internal X set. Okay. Getting nothing. Right? Okay, that's at the base. Let's capture the collector. No, emitter. If I can short them out. Okay, emitter. Emitter is a hard grab because of the way she's sitting. So I got her on the base is bottom, center is collector, and I have it hooked up to emitter. You can see the E. So I'm getting that. Okay. And vertical gain does do that. Pull back on the vertical gain a little bit, and I'll bounce that up one. Okay, that's the emitter of this one. I will go to the emitter of this top one. This was 206. Where is that? 206. Where is it? 205. 206. So I will go to the emitter of that one. But I think that's this one. I think I got a different wave shape. So I got something that was fancier looking than this here. I had something that was come up, then it dumped down and flatlined, then come up, kind of like a halfway rectifier without filtering. Okay, when I was here. But I have this voltage adjustment center tapped in. And this was counterclockwise. And that is this one. It was way over this way. I have it center tapped. So maybe that has something to do with the waveform at this time. So I'll hook up. Okay, if I swap the base, I got nothing. I'll swap this base. This base, I've got something. Same stuff. So what's it telling me here? Let's look at the collector. I'm gonna do the collector this way. Collector, I ain't seen nothing. Maybe I took to the B+. Let's see. Collector of 205. It goes right to the base of that one. This collector goes right to the base of that one. 206 and 5. That's where I'm at. So let me see. I think I'll hit this base right here. It'll be easier to grab. Nothing. Unless I shouldn't lose Okay, I got that. I don't know what that means. A lot of noise, interference or something. This, I had to switch this way down to 50 microvolts, I think. I shouldn't have to do that. That should increase. If this thing's amplifying and that thing's amplifying, my signal should increase. Okay, let's hook up to this base. Let me pull this back because I don't know where I was. I don't want to burn it. Oh, I'll try this base here. Emitter is towards me, collector is away from me. Okay, let's see. Okay. It's doing that. Okay. It means nothing to me. I have no idea. That's the base. I have no idea how to get stuff off the internet. I am not an internet person, so I'm kind of old-fashioned. So this side, you know, if you look at like guitar amplifiers, phase splitters, one side always seems to be stronger than the other. So I'm assuming this could be similar. But I never looked at that stuff with a signal generator on a guitar amp with a oscilloscope. I'm new to oscilloscope, so I still got to adjust that and that one for the balance adjustment. So nothing's adjusted here. So that was the bass. This one, 7, had the stronger strength there. This one had the weaker strength. So what does that tell me besides nothing? This had a stronger strength, which goes from, what is this called? The vertical, horizontal gain is right into here, field effect transistor, into there. This one here is the balance, so maybe this one doesn't have so much signal, it's just received the beam. Maybe the beam comes from this side, from pin 9, and goes to pin 10. Maybe it goes from there to there, so maybe that side's stronger. I don't know, I'm just assuming. But it doesn't work. But what my intentions are here, okay, and this gets hotter than heck. You can see the darkening of the board, so it's nothing new. But like I say, I'd like to get that moved up to here with heatsink. I have heatsink compound someplace in here from Radio Shack from the 1970s. It's still good. Got 2 of them in there in this stuff someplace. So I'd like to relocate that to the back chassis and run adequate heavy wire to there and remove the heat from the circuit board. These I wish I could lift. I'd like to get 5-watt wire wounds here and leave them dangling a quarter inch to a half an inch tall. I'll order some 220 ohm 5-watt resistors. I'll order probably, I don't know, 10 of them. I think there's a couple more there. 10-pack from tubesandmore.com. I have one of their catalogs. I don't know what's happening here. I have another oscilloscope coming that I bought off eBay. It's a all vacuum tube. It's I don't know what it is called. It's a 12. It's a 12. IO-12. I don't know. It's a 12 anyways. Yeah, some 12 AU7s, 6BN8 I think, and 12 old vertical oscillator output tube. Same filament configuration as a 12AX7, 12AT7 type stuff. 12BY7, I think. I got a bunch of those things. So anyways, I'm getting nowhere. That is just idle. I don't know where it's at. I better turn this up for protection. Turn that down. I guess that's the best I can do. Well, I can do the emitter, I think. I'm afraid to do the collectors because of the nasty sawtooth AC frequencies, baby. Signal. Okay, let me see what I get here. Okay. What's the emitters hooked to? Let's see. Well, only 470 ohms and 470 picofarads and another 1,000 ohms. I don't know. That emitter, I'm on the X10. X10 for security reasons and not to change frequencies. We'll try emitter here. Let me pull back on this a couple first, because we never know what's going to happen. Emitter. Let's see. Okay, we got something here. Let me pull this up a little bit. It's weaker though. This is, well, yeah, it should be the emitter. Okay, that's forks up. Let me see. Let's put it like that. Forks up. That looks familiar. TV sets, horizontal, or my other scopes. I have another scope I'm working on. I bought this scope here. I bought it, received it. Hinges are broken. It's 100. Where the hell is it? Well, anyways, it's a 2-channel. These only go up to 50 volts instead of 100, which I ain't crazy about. I like higher settings, especially if you work with like a Fender amplifier or something. They can go up to like on standby like 525 volts, I think, and 475 operating. Okay, running out of breath thanks to smoking all my life. Okay, emitter on Q207. I will go to emitter of Q208. I don't like grabbing it there. I'll grab it this way. Get my hand near the AC. Yeah, it's on there. Yeah. I get a kind of a corrupted looking something there. She's kind of floating. Let me see. She's kind of out of focus too. Let me see if I can focus it. Yeah, kind of out of focus, bouncing up and down. Must have a DC voltage change. Maybe. Go back to this emitter. Well, it's still out of focus, but she ain't bouncing, is she? I take my reading glasses off. It's not bouncing. But regardless, this is going to tell me absolutely nothing because I'm not skilled, obviously. But it's just... So it must have a difference in DC voltage change a little bit. And then a little corruption there, whatever that is. I'll look at this one more time. I forget everything. Yeah, it's pretty clean to other lines. So the other one has a little corruption on Q208. My reference 25 minutes into this. Okay, so off it goes. Okay, this thing here is a 10K and a 10K. This is ganged together, supposed to be ganged together. Then the fine is the other knob, the center knob. So I believe it said something about taking the knob off and using a screwdriver. So I don't know if fine was something you adjust one time and leave it. So I got this 2000 ohms, 2000 ohms. This pot that's in there is a 10K and a 10K. I didn't know it was so different. The 100 ohm that somebody put in there with that is a 100 ohm. So my intentions are to like put a 1000 ohm resistor here, 1000 ohm resistor there. I think that would be like putting chorus at 12 o'clock. Two fixed resistors. Then I'll try like a 1.5K. I may have 500 ohm resistors, I'm not sure, or I might have 470 ohm resistors. So I can go like a 1.5K there, roughly 470 ohms there. See what happens. Do a flip-flop, 1.5K there, 470 ohms there, and see what's the difference. See if I get deflection, because I did have a dot. I actually had, when I hooked up, this is 1 volt peak to peak. I hooked up that scope to it. It is there. I had this hooked up, and I was touching my finger, putting signal into it. So this has to go back to ground for my adjustments, counterclockwise, 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 ground, counterclockwise, counterclockwise, counterclockwise. This has to be an exit, I think. This thing here, internal, and this thing here, counterclockwise. That's a sync gain. That's already counterclockwise. This is 12 o'clock. This is all the way. Focus is, this is, I don't know. I'm not doing nothing with those. I'm gonna put 1000 ohm resistors in there. I know I don't have 2000 ohm. That's, I really doubt it. Mine are usually out of stereo, so they're 500K to 1 meg to 2 megs to whatever. I have some 3 meg ones, so way out of the range. So I will fiddle with this stuff and do some messing around and see if I mean, this is vertical position. Is that what it says? Yeah. So, I mean, this could be throwing my thing way north or south, you know? But I know when I was fiddling with this, a 10K and a 10K, this thing was really ippity. It would throw this. I could get the bead, I could get her down here, then I could touch, you know, the probe, and it would shoot it looked like vertical is working because it would shoot up vertically, but I had no width either. So I don't know. So that's why I'm thinking something with this stuff, throwing the beam across, and I'm afraid to touch the collector. I don't know. I put my meter on it for DC for the adjust 100 volts, so it didn't, with this one it didn't destroy it. But I can't use this. I was trying to check. That's why these are cut. I cut them. And I was trying to get amp draw because this one is so hot. I want to see what milliamp she's drawn. I could only use it through this one. This one here, I couldn't get nothing. But I had it all apart about a couple months ago, and I cleaned these parts in here, which it's all circuit board stuff, and then I put Vaseline on them. So there's a possibility I didn't put the fuse in, but I think it's in there. And another thing I noticed on this thing is, let me get a non. I don't like pencils because they got carbon. And what's in resistors? This thing here I noticed has a red piece of wire cut. So I looked in the original stuff, and it only shows the AC and the transformer winding, whatever it may be. And also there's one here. This thing's plugged in. I'll unplug it. And there's also one here. No, that's just, oh, right here, this gray. So somebody had something else hooked up into this thing. Gray, little gray piece there, and the red piece here. So somebody was up to something. And I looked in the manual. This stuff doesn't exist. It's one wire to the fuse and one wire to that connection. So somebody was monking. This is, I'll snip that out. That's just that. If I get it working, I'll take these circuit boards up and properly solder those in. And again, I'll remove this to the backboard or someplace appropriate. Probably the back. Put some heatsink material with it, so it'll keep this thing a lot cooler. These things never got hot, so I don't know where this big voltage drain is, but I know this thing's got Zener diodes all over. It's got one here, so that must be regulating that to keep that at a positive 9 volts, but this is negative. Maybe that's keeping this a negative 9 volts. I'm not sure how a lot of things operate. That's what that is probably keeping this at a negative 9 volts. But then you got a Zener diode there on the positive. You have a Zener diode here, which is, that looks like a 120 volt source, so that's not the same one. This one is positive 9 volts, so that's putting drag on that regulator. Then we got the, where is it? Where the hell's the other one? Well, here's one. So you're putting drain on the negative 9 volts with that one. And drag on the positive 9 volts. And those things really put a lot of drag. I got Zener diodes in this thing here. Zener diode is cold, but it's got like a 10 watt or a 5 watt 10 ohm or something, and it gets really hot, and it's in this thing. So I don't like this thing. If I use this thing on the TV RF, usually I have to have it about there. I run it for the least amount of time as I can, because that wire wound resistor gets hot, and I think it's a 5 watt 10 ohm or something like that. And that thing gets hot, but the Zener diode, I can touch that. That does not get hot, and it's very small. So I don't know if I don't have a beam being swept from there to there, expanding it. You know, when I had this going, it expanded a little bit, maybe about 1 inch, but it was going vertically. But when I tried expanding it this way, it would just maybe went 1 inch, and that's it. So this is it for Orange Beginner's Corner on February 8th, 2021. February 8th. I think it's my aunt's birthday. But she's dead and gone, so here it is. This is the end of it. Yeah, that's it.